Pardon me, dear?
Online postings?
Yes, we look at them online.
But not yet.
Yeah, I think they're going up maybe next week.
Oh, because that's
So you can check them out. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay.
not that I'm loyal to them.
No, I know, but at least they're there. So what's the date today, everybody?
Monday,
Monday, September
25.
25th?
Yep.
Oh my Lord. What a beautiful day.
Too
What
hot.
a beautiful day. So everybody will need, in terms of props, 2 cork blocks, 1 foam block, a bolster, a blanket, a strap, and what's the most important prop that we need? A happy face. Right? So we want to look ridiculously happy. Simone says it all the time now, doesn't she? Yeah, she's so cute. So why do we suggest such a ridiculous thing to look so ridiculously happy? It's a sign of enlightenment, correct? So we're starting in our version of a supported back bend. And you can see I've placed my cork blocks, one at the highest level, one at the medium level, and that cork block lands at the lower ribs or the bolster. So everybody chooses their own path, right? Their own destiny. And as I was mentioning this morning with a lovely girl, we're all ending up in the same place, so it's how you get there. And it's very much a choice about how we get there. And finding our personal, enjoyable place is what it's all about. So I'm finding the cork block is landing right where my lower ribs start in the back body. And if you're on the bolster, again, you want a little bit of space between the buttocks and the lower ribs because that gives the lower back a little space. And we're just starting to inch the heels further and further forward to start to find the backs of the legs and start to reach through your heels. And as we reach through the heels, we feel the muscles of the legs start to tighten, start to adhere around the bone. That's what we're looking for. That sense of the muscles of the legs wrapping around the bone. And the hips naturally become a little bit heavier. The backs of the thighs again drop down a little further. And we start to create this connection through the backs of the legs in down towards the floor. So just feel as though you were gripping the floor with your sits bones. This is new for me actually, learning to grip as though I were growing roots through my sits bones, keeping the muscles working around the bone, tightening around the bone as we lengthen through the heels to create this sense of lengthening the legs from the bone. And it's a slow drip. We start to feel micro releases in tiny pockets of tension. We start to feel more of the leg come together as one, participating more and more. So we are in fact intelligizing the legs. And through this effort, we start to, hello.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're not late. We're just enjoying ourselves, using our time wisely. So my dear, we are grabbing a couple of cork blocks. Let me get you a couple of cork blocks, a bolster, and a blanket, and a strap. And we're just connecting. We're connecting. We're starting to create that journey of awareness. And that tool is the breath. That's what's going to lead you there. So in the first moments of our practice, we start to remember, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am. So just repeating this mantra, I am not the mind, I am not the body. And you move the bolster a little further away from the wall. And scooch away, that's it. I won't bite you either. There we go. And just scooch a little closer, that girl, and just lay back. Good. Yes, nice. And extend your legs. Good. Doesn't this feel wonderful? So 40 back bends go a long way. And if you think you are just lying here, disregard the mind. Don't allow the mind to give you any feedback. Let's start to find the breath now together. Let's start to deepen that next inhale and take that breath right up into the upper chest, right up into the upper sternum area, the collarbone lifts. Slow, smooth exhale, breathing together. Let's finish that exhale. Slow and smooth. Let's go again. As you inhale, feel the crease of the armpit chest. Lift through that inhale. Slow and smooth exhale, following all the way through that exhale. Make that exhale the same length as the inhale. Slow and smooth. Start to let go of the mind. Start to let the mind go. Allow the breath to lead the effort. Let's bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana, into the butterfly position. Now gently lift your tail and take it towards your heels. So if you found a little length in that lower back, we want to release the lower back by lifting the tailbone closer to the heels and maybe walking those heels even closer to the buttocks. Let's actively press through the heels, through the outsides of the feet. Let's connect through the outer feet, from the very back outer heel, along that line of awareness into the baby toes. Now spread your toes wide. Start to spread the toes wide. Allow the mind to fall away. Just focus on your breath. Focus on the breath. See if you can feel your inner thighs rolling out. And as those inner thighs roll out, stretching those inner thighs to the knees. Let's take the hands to the elbows. And now let's reach the elbows up and overhead. See if you can widen the outermost arm away from the center line of the body. So deep breaths now. Let the mind go. Start to let go of that inner dialogue, that ongoing conversation we carry. Let the breath lead the effort now. So feel new life coming to the body through the inhale. That's the life force, the prana, the energy that comes through the inhale. Start to connect with the sense of letting go on the exhale. Start to follow right to the end of the breath, softening the breath to extend the life of the exhale. Making that exhale same length as the inhale. So that exhale is the body's natural tool of letting go of tension. Letting go of whatever it is you no longer need. So feel that sense of release through the exhale. Try to follow right to the very end of that breath. The mind is soft, so the mind is starting to let go now, and we can feel the breath become stronger and stronger as the life force increases through the breath. Releasing, letting go through the exhale, participating in that release. Good job. Let's release. Let's take the elbows back down. Change the clasp of the hands to the elbows. Reach the elbows up and overhead. So we move with the breath. We find that fluid movement through the breath as we allow the outermost arms to move away from the center line. Feel the lower ribs drawing down towards the pelvis. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Let the mind go. Let's release the arms out to the T position. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Elbows straight, so walk those fingers as far away from the torso as you can. And that's again, use the inhale to lift through the crease of the armpit chest. So this front crease, where the arm meets the torso, feel a sense of lifting through that inhale. We continue that sense of lifting through the inhale as we let the lower ribs drop down to the hips, as we feel the hip bones moving away from the lower ribs, as we create this sense of tucking both of the sits bones in and under. So we scoop the tailbone, tuck, tuck, tuck. So that creates a double action. Thighs externally rotate out, and then we create a double action by scooping, tucking the tailbone, lifting the belly, lifting the sternum. Even though the lower ribs are drawn away from the armpit chest. Very nice, everybody. Let's slowly release. Let's lift the left knee up and over to the right. And we're going to come off of our bricks. So just move your bricks off to the side. Good job, everybody. So let's start by just coming right back onto that right side. Let's take the right hand behind the head. So right to the back of the neck. Good. And let's bring the left knee forward. So bring your left knee forward. Let's bend the right leg and take the left hand to the right foot. Very nice. Good job. Everybody got it. See if you can drag your right leg and knee away from the left knee. Take it as far away as you can. And now let's start to roll towards the back of the body, taking the right foot to the floor. Let's press actively through that right thigh. So press that right thigh down. Move that right knee away from the left. Very nice. And now that's again, pressing through that outer right thigh. Let's inhale and lift through the crease of that left armpit chest. Scooping that right sits bone, that right side of the pelvis, in and under. So use the breath to create that lift in the upper thoracic spine through the crease of the armpit chest. Press through that outer right thigh. Try to tuck that right sits bone, that right side of the pelvis. Very nice. Let's release that right foot. Let's take the left hand over to the right and bring the knees together. Knees together. That's it. Nice. And bring your left hand over to the right. That girl. Knees together. Very nice. And now let's roll over to the back and onto the left. So let's go over to the left side. Knees together. Left hand behind the head to the neck. Let's bring the right knee forward, bring the left knee back. Let's take the right hand to the outside of the left foot. Let's take the left foot down to the floor and drag that left knee away from the right. Let's press that outer left thigh to the floor. So this is the active work here, to press that left thigh down. Try to tuck that left side of the pelvis in and under. That left foot is down to the floor. And then we use the breath to create the space. We start to let go of actively forcing and letting the breath now lead the effort. So there's a sense of starting to become a witness. It's a blissful place to be, in that place where we create that space and become a witness is where we start to let go of the doing. So just breathe deeply, letting the corners of the mouth turn up, looking ridiculously happy here. Everybody. Let's release that right hand. Take the right hand over to the left, using your right hand and your left elbow to press you up. We're going to swing around now. So I'm going to be on my right side to start. This is a very good pose for any type of scoliosis, and it's a great stretch. So just do your best. You're going to take your right elbow forward, and again, the right hand is behind the neck. So you see how it sort of torques my gaze up. It's a nice place for the neck. And then we want to work toward taking that right elbow so it's forward in line with the hips, and then take the feet in line with the hips as well. So we're on the same axis here. And then start to tuck. So scoop both of your sits bones in and under as though you were dragging those sits bones towards your heels. So just do your best. Try not to lean back. And then start to lift that left knee. So press through that outer right foot and draw that left knee in towards you. Just do your best. You can see the balancer muscles are working here. Good. So you're scooping that right sits bone. See if you can feel your right side of the buttocks cheek tightening, because that's the action here. And if you can, take your middle and index finger to your big left toe, so the hand comes inside the leg. That's it. Nicely done. So tuck, tuck, tuck as we start to straighten that left leg. So just do your best. You can either take your hand here. So we want to roll slightly forward, taking the left sits bone down towards that right heel, pressing through that outer right foot. Very nicely done here. So tuck that right sits bone. You got it. Tuck that right sits bone. And taking the left hip down towards that right heel. Very nicely done, everybody. So let's bend the left knee. And let's take the left foot back to meet the right. Very nice. Good. So let's swing round and let's come onto the belly since we're down on the floor. And let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Bring your legs together and press through the tops of the feet. So it is very important to press through the tops of the feet and lift your kneecaps. That's it. Now, look at your forearms and make sure the forearms are parallel. So the wrists should not be inside the elbows. They should be in line with your elbows. That's press through the tops of the feet, lifting the kneecaps. Let's draw the back of the forearms straight back. So draw the backs of the forearms straight back, press through the elbows, lift through the crease of the armpit chest. So try to lift your head, my love. That's it. Not so. That's it. So draw the backs of those forearms back. Lift your belly. Pressing through the tops of the feet. Kneecaps are lifting. See if you can draw those outer shoulder blades back and down. Very nice. Imagine squeezing your inner shoulder blades together. Very nice. So somebody asked for some back work, so we're going to do a little bit of strengthening here, if you can imagine. I'm so sorry. Good job, you guys. All right, let's bring the forehead to the floor and just take your hands to your hips. Forehead to the floor, so take your hands to the floor, my dear. That's it, and just turn the backs of your palms down. That's it. Forehead to the floor. That's again, press to the tops of the feet, point your feet, lift your kneecaps, and then let's lift that right leg just an inch or so off the ground. Now point your right toes and lengthen your right leg from behind your right buttocks, that right pelvic girdle. So feel the length come from behind your right buttocks. At any time, take a break. Let's take the left hand overhead and let's turn that left palm up and lift your head, lift that left arm ever so slightly. So it's hard to rotate that left hand up. Just do your best. Give it a few moments. Try not to let the mind give you too much feedback. So we are lengthening this left arm from the bottom of that left shoulder blade. Turning that left palm up and now lengthening from your left fingertips and your right toes. Let's take that left hand back towards the left hip. Let's bring the right foot down to the floor, forehead to the floor. Let's lift the left leg. And now lengthen your left leg from behind your left buttocks. Point those left toes. So feel a sense of working from behind your left pelvic girdle. Let's take the right hand overhead, turn that right palm up, and lift the head slightly. Do your best. Try not to let your mind give you a lot of feedback. Look at it as an enjoyable challenge. Very nice. Let's release the left foot. Let's take the right hand back to meet the left. And now let's bring the hands to the lower ribs. Draw those elbows back and in as you lift the head. Look straight down. Press through the tops of the feet, lift your kneecaps, and then let's gently press into the palms as we come up through the table position. And let's take a child's pose with the head supported, unless you are very, very flexible. Knees wide, feet together, arms forward. Adho Mukha Virasana. Dandasana. Pressing through your palms, push your hips down to your heels. And then lift your belly and your lower ribs up and over those thighs. So we're working from the crease of the hip, lengthening through the front of the body. Let's all breathe a little more deeply now. Try to let the mind go and let the breath lead the effort. Let the breath perform its magic. Good job, everybody. So if you cannot do downward dog, my little friend over there, feel free to take the wall. But let's all keep our hands and feet exactly where they are. Just lift your hips up through the table position and tuck the toes in and under for your downward dog. Good. So look at your feet. Turn the toes ever so slightly in so the outer feet are parallel to the sides of the mat. Let's lift the kneecaps up to start. So pull both kneecaps up. Try to press your heels down into the floor. So lift your kneecaps, lift your kneecaps, lift your kneecaps. Press your heels down. And now, without letting your sacrum come forward, so the sacrum right where the center of the buttocks is, should not come forward. Let's lift the heels slightly. So do this very slowly to stop your pelvis from coming forward, to keep the leg through the sides of the body, lifting your heels slightly, and then let's take those heels down to the floor again. So try this a few times without letting your sacrum come forward. Slowly, microscopically lift the heels so we feel this sense of the buttocks and hips pulling back as we lift the heels up. And then we take the heels down, lift the kneecaps up. Press through the balls of the feet so that you widen through the base of the foot and lengthen through the back of the heel. So we make the back of the heel narrower and narrower and narrower. Very nice, everybody. Very nice. Let's drop the knees down to the floor. Good. And now we're going to come and just bring our legs forward here in Dandasana. If you cannot have a little curvature in your lower back, if you cannot make your lower back concave, then just sit up on something. Everybody have a block nearby. So sit on a blanket if you feel that you need one. That's it. And then pull those happy sit bones out, very nicely done, or the flesh of the buttocks. And then see if you can start to take your hands to the outsides of the feet. So we feel a sense of lifting through the sides of the body, lifting through the crease of the armpit chest, and not jamming the sacrum through the center to the lower back. So we feel a sense of the sides of the body lifting as we come forward into Paschimottanasana. Just find an easy forward bend. So this is a therapeutic pose, Paschimottanasana. It is one of the official therapy poses. So if you can, feel a sense of reaching through the balls of the feet to drop the backs of the thighs down. That's it. So if you want to get the backs of those legs more connected to the floor, reach through the balls of the feet, and this will drop those thighs down. Very nice. So let's take the right hand to the inner right thigh, and let's lift that leg up. Opening it out to the side. Let's take the cork block to that inner right thigh. And you see I'm looking to the right, and I want to roll that right thigh out. That's it, you got it. So use that forearm and push that thigh out this way. I'll give you a sense of what it should feel like. So move that block. So feel that. Feel that's what you're looking for. Yeah. If you had a core block, it would give you a little more heaviness. Now reach through the left heel as you do that. And now start to turn your belly towards that inner left thigh. So we keep the Baddha Konasana leg rolling back, and then we start to take the belly towards the Dandasana leg, the right ribs towards the Dandasana leg. So we start to turn that right side towards the left, and then hinging over the left hip, let's take the left hand to the outer left foot. That's it. So right thigh rolls back, we press through that left heel, and these right ribs are drawing over towards the left inner thigh. And then let's release the block and just take the right hand towards the left. So try to press the back of the left thigh down as you lift through the sides. So this becomes more of an action in the hip as opposed to the upper spine curling. So the front of the body is lifting up, 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 and over that left thigh. Very nicely done. Let's slowly lift back up. Let's take the left leg even further up to the side. So just open that left leg, and this right thigh is rolling out still. Oops. And let's take our block inside the left ankle and see how far you can move it away. That's it. So we're pushing that block away. That a girl, good job. So it's micro movements, right? Yeah. Moving that block away, maybe. Let's take the right hand up to the sky. So take it as high up as you can to start. Lift it up, and then start to take the right hand over to the left. Good. So the right elbow is lifting up, and then the right eye comes over towards the left. Very nicely done. So feel that right thigh rolling out, reaching towards that right knee. Feel the back of the left thigh pressing to the floor. That's it, stretching that arm. Very nicely done, everybody. Let's slowly lift back up. So we feel the tension falling away. It's very nice, isn't it? Whew. All right, guys. So let's take the left leg in, and let's lift the right knee out and extend the right leg long. Left hand to the inner left thigh. Let's open that left knee. So the Baddha Konasana leg starts in the initial stage by rolling out. It's an external rotation of that left thigh, but then there's a second action here where we start to tuck, 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 lifting the belly, right thigh down, and then these left ribs come over towards the right thigh. The belly comes over towards the right thigh. So we want to twist while we're up. It's better for the back. It's better for the lower back. That's it. There's a lot of awareness in these moments before we progress. And then right hand to the outer right foot. So remember, we're lengthening through the sides of the body. Pressing through the back of that right thigh, and then we release the left hand to meet right thigh presses down, and then we create the hinge from the hip and not from the upper spine, not from those upper cervical vertebrae. And it's just time with your breath. Very nice, everybody. Let's slowly release. Let's take the right leg as far out to the side as we can. Let's take the block to the inner right ankle. So keep that left thigh rolling out. And then start to move away. See how far you can go. Walking that block forward. So the right thigh is pressing down, the right kneecap is lifting. The left thigh is rolling out as though you were trying to point that left knee. And then let's take the left hand up to the sky. So lift up to start. Feel a sense of lifting from your sits bones. Elbow high, left hand over towards the right. So we're lengthening from the left hip to the underarm. That's the left side of the spine. We think about lifting and lengthening from the sits bones, lifting up. Let's take the left hand even further to the right. Good job. So turn that left palm up if you can. Good, yes. So if you could imagine that left hand comes eventually to the outer right foot. Just not in my book, not in my lifetime. And the right hand would come to the inner right foot. You see? But we're not quite there yet. This is a gentle class, right guys? We're looking for the deep release from a deep, long hold. This should be called super stretch. Let's slowly release on the exhale. Good job. It feels great, doesn't it? Everybody's looking highly enlightened here. Okay, so one more. Since we're here, let's extend the leg one more time to Dandasana. Just reach your arms up here. Lift up. So this is a hard pose. Very hard. And then let's make sure everybody's got a strap here. So let's take your strap. If you are way back here in your seated poses, sit up. Sit higher. And then let's take the strap. Here, my dear, I have one. And just in case, let's take the strap around the body like so. And let's take the right hand and lift that right thigh up again. So take the left hand to the side. You see, so I'm coming over to the left. And let's reach the right arm up. Lift, and then fold forward to start. So this takes a little time. I am nowhere near the pose in these first moments, right? Just let your body receive this new movement. So let your breath lead the effort, let the mind go. Believe me, it's in those moments where the mind is quiet and still, where you are starting to harness your artistic flair. So that passion that lives in creativity comes from the mind's stillness. When the mind is occupied, for example, when you're on your phone, you are with the world. So we're folding forward to start, dropping the torso down, doing our best. And then let's take that right forearm and dig it to the shin. See if you can start to walk your hands together. So we're walking our hands. If you can't bind easily, you're just walking your hands together on the strap. You got it. That's the best way, eh? Yep, so take that left hand, walk that left hand. Try to get the hands together. Press through your right heel. Lift through the side of the body. So this is very much, there we go. So press your right heel, very nicely done. And then just think about lifting through the sides of the armpit chest. Good job, you guys. Keep going, Wendy. It's interesting, eh? I know. So when I was in New York City about 20 years ago, Sri Dharmamitra's followers used to have a little piece of rope, and so they would bind and they would know based on the length of rope where they were. So eventually the rope would get smaller and smaller, but a lot of the people already had pre-cut rope for this pose, which I found very interesting. Try to press through your right heel. Just think about lifting from your sits bones, if you can. Lifting through the sides of the body. Maybe looking to the left. So we're doing twist because it's warm out. This is a good way to detoxify. Alright, then slowly release. That a girl, so big. So we take a counter stretch. Just take your right hand back, nicely done, so you didn't let the right knee come away right away. And take your left hand to your outer right thigh. So we lift through the sides of the body, draw your thighs together. That's it. It's just an easy counter stretch. Nice, Olvega. Very nice. And then let's release. Let's extend the right leg long. Left hand to the inner thigh. So we bring the leg in with the knee closed. Make sure our strap is nearby. So you see I'm leaning over to the right because I'm coming inside the space. So I lift the left arm up. Lift. And then folding forward to start. So just folding, dropping the torso down. Breathing deeply if you can, full body breaths. Let's dig that left forearm. So dig the forearm in and start to walk that hand around. That's it. So take your time. And then press through the left heel. Lift through the crease of the armpit chest. Very nicely done, Solvega. So breathe now. Let the breath lead the effort. Let the breath create space, create that deep detoxing twist for the spine. My teacher Ramanathan mentioned to me that I said I'm sweating already. He said you're detoxing when you're twisting like this.
That's what my doctor said.
So we hold, we linger, we're in no rush. The mind is in a rush to come out, but disregard the mind. Let the breath lead the effort. Staying connected so we're not passing our threshold, but the enjoyment factor is gone. We're looking at this as an enjoyable challenge. Very nice. Let's slowly release. So let's take a downward dog with the ropes. So everybody, let's come up to standing. And if you're new to the ropes, just take a look and try to follow along. So let's take the right rope in the right hand, left rope in the left hand. Good. Now cross the right rope underneath the left. So those ones are going to be really high, my dear, don't worry. Okay, but don't worry at all. It'll be fine. Let's put the right foot through the rope you're holding with the left hand. Exactly, right through. Now turn away from the wall. Let's put the left foot through. Good. So the purpose is that most people have a restriction in their hamstrings. Okay, so I'm not sure what you did. Come on out. We'll start again. Now take that behind your back. That rope you're holding in your hand, take it behind your back. There we go. You got it. Okay, now come forward so there's resistance. Take your hands to the floor. Good. Now take your heels halfway up the wall. Halfway up the wall. So sorry. Yes, you got it. Now walk your hands forward. Drop your head. Good. Let's press through the heels, everybody. Press your heels gently to the wall. Lift your chest. Lift your armpit chest towards your hands. So let the breath lead the effort. Let your mind go. Try to enjoy the breath. And just watch the mind. Just watch the mind. Don't let the mind start to give you some feedback. Just let the breath lead the effort. Stilling the mind, letting the mind go so we can look for a little bit of peace, a little stillness in the mind. So that we become the observer and we are no longer doing. It's a happening, this yoga. So as you press through your heels, stretching your armpit chest to your hands, start to feel the lower ribs draw away from the armpit chest towards the pelvis. And now let's take the sits bones down towards the heels. So feel a sense of scooping those sits bones down towards the heels. And then again, let the breath lead the effort as you lift your chest from that inhale towards your hands. Lower ribs to your hips, sits bones down to your heels. So the breath is the effort. The breath is where the magic is. Okay, let's slowly walk the hands to the feet to the hands. So come up. Good job, everybody. How's everybody doing? All right? Yeah? All right. So let's do exactly that, especially because he did it with a smile on his face. So let's go to that half alignment. Let's take the hands to the ropes. Walking your body forward, start to lean into the ropes, and then walk your feet back a little. See if you can press through your heels. Have your heels on the floor. That's it. Feel a sense of taking those sits bones down to your heels. Sits bones down to your heels. We never did the other side of Anatasana, did we?
No.
No.
I don't mind.
I know. I thought about that.
That's why I didn't say.
That's all right. We can go back down to it. It's a great pose for scoliosis. And this also. So press through your heels, lift through the crease of the armpit chest. See if you can feel a sense of your sits bones drawing down. One more time, press through your heels, lift through the crease of the armpit chest. Tighten the muscles of those upper arms or gently around the bones if you can. And then let's walk the feet forward, and then walk the legs and body back to release the arms. Good job, everybody. So since we're here and you want a little bit of shoulder work, am I correct on that one?
Sure.
So here's a pretty new one that we've been doing. Let's take the right hand to where the lower ribs and the hips are. So the right hand to the lower ribs, that's it. Turn that palm out. Now take your left hand and grab the palm. So it's this action of this right elbow drawing towards the spine. We take the right shoulder and the elbow to the wall. And then we start to walk the feet away, turning the feet out, trying to mobilize the right elbow to the spine using the wall. That's it. So take your time. Don't let that right palm change in any way. That's it. So we want to work that right elbow towards the spine without releasing the right palm. Let's slowly release. Let's take the left hand so that it starts right where the lower ribs and the hips are. Right hand round. So it's the work of keeping that left palm nice and flat. Because eventually we're going like so, right? But this is harder than it looks for a lot of people. So let's take that hand, bring your left elbow and your left shoulder. And then let's start to take the left elbow towards the spine. So you guys can take your left palm out to the side, some of you. Sir, you can release your left hand a little bit. And take it more, take a look at me, my dear man. So your hand is right behind, just bring it to the side. Yes. Ah, okay. Okay. So we're bringing that left elbow in towards the spine without dropping the head too much. That's it. Left elbow in towards the spine. Good job. So let's release. Let's hang, and then we have to do the other side. So let's take the arms and the hands and reach them up here. Now I'm nice and short, so this is easy for me. Let yourself hang. So you see how I'm bending my knees. I've got my hips to the wall, and then I walk my legs back, using the lower ribs pressing into the wall. Let's look up. So the lower ribs are into the wall. The heels are reaching back. And let's slowly walk the feet in and straighten the legs to release. So that prevents the lower back from getting caught. Okay, so let's come down to the left side now, guys. And let's line up this left elbow.
We did that.
No, we only did one side. We only did one side. So I'm taking the hand behind my head, and then I scoop and tuck the left sit bone in and under. So try to lean forward, not back. And then that's without rolling backwards. Let's draw the right knee in. That's it. Good job. So my dear, see if you can take that left elbow back a little further so it's on the same axis as the hip. And then the index and middle finger, grab the big toe. The arm is on the inside of the leg. Just do your best. That's it. Nicely done. So tuck that left sits bone. Not a girl. You got the work. It's all the balancer muscles. Tuck that left sits bone. So that left outer buttocks cheek, that left gluteus medius is working here. And we're leaning slightly inwards. The right sits bone draws down towards that inner left heel. hopefully we're a little careful with the neck. So take that hand underneath the occipital ridge. Don't roll back. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Left sits bone squeezes. Squeezes. Nicely done, everybody. You guys are awesome. Yeah, and then let's bend the knee. Very nice. Let's come forward here. And since we're on our belly, let's swing around. Take a child's pose. Knees wide, feet together, arms extended long. Good. Let's slowly lift up here, and let's take a blanket underneath the knees. We take our happy rectangle, and let's take the block to the right, and step your left foot out to the left, so that again, everything's on that same axis. The left foot, the right knee, the right hand. Let's reach the left arm up and overhead. Good. Good job. That's it. Now take that left hand overhead. Good. Left foot to the floor. So my dear, take the block up one higher level. Be careful because it's a rubber one, so it might fall. You got it. This one's not going to fly out from underneath you. Very nicely done. So grip the floor with your left heel. Hips forward. Open your left underarm. Feel the counter stretch as you press your left heel to the floor, reaching your left arm in the opposite direction. Very nice. So this is a double back bend / lateral twist for the spine. It looks like a nothing pose. It is anything but. It's a huge value pose. Very nice. Then slowly lift back up. So feel your side transverse muscles reach the right arm up. Lift as high as you can. Right hand over to the left. Nicely done, everybody. So these are lateral back bend / twist for the spine. Lateral twist. Lift your belly. Lift the crease of that right armpit chest. Eventually the hands come together. Maybe.
Next leg.
That's right. You never say never. Slowly lift back up. And let's thank God we only have two sides. You guys are almost done. This is really great. So left block, right foot. Find your level, find your happy place. Press that outer right heel and reach the right hand in the opposite direction. Open that right underarm area. Pelvis forward. Let the breath roll. So let the breath lead the effort. The breath is the body's natural negotiator of tension. It's a neutral force. So let it be free to create that space. Let yourself be free by becoming a witness. Letting it become a happening. Letting the doing go. Let's slowly lift back up. Very nice, everybody. So take that stretch. Reach as high as you can. Lift. Left hand over to the right. So the hands eventually come together to that right foot. Let the breath lead the effort. The mind has no business in this effort here. The mind will give you feedback that really does not serve you most of the time. Often it starts to create an opinion that has a conclusion, that has a boundary, that becomes limiting. So we just skip the whole thing and let the breath lead the effort. The mind can fall away here, it's not needed. Let's slowly lift up. Very nice. Your choice to use downward dog with or without the ropes. If you're coming from the floor, starting in Adho Mukha Virasana, stretching the arms forward so that you can measure the correct distance between your hands and feet. Allowing the hips to come up through the table position, the shoulders are down away from the ears, the arms are straight, tuck the toes in and under. Nicely done. Lift your kneecaps. That's the very first cue, to pull those kneecaps up. To feel the heels working down towards the floor. Feel the sides of the body pull backwards. And if you're not sure what that means, explore lifting your heels without letting the sacrum come forward. Just a micro lift of the heels without letting those hips come forward creates that length in the lower pelvis area through the sides of the body. It's a wonderful thing. So one more pose. Let's drop the knees down. Supta Pada Gustasana with the heels to the wall, and I'm going to demonstrate here. This is a new one. Some of you haven't seen this before. So I have a blanket for my happy head, and then we're going to use the strap and the rubber block. So take a look as I bend my knees, take my heels to the wall to measure. Let's take the block underneath the left buttocks cheek. So I roll to the right and bring the foam block to the buttocks cheek so it lifts my whole pelvis. And then we can take our happy loop around that left foot. And let's take that left leg out to the side so that we continually keep a sense of both hips being on the same level. So the action of lifting the pelvis creates a much deeper opening through that right groin area, which is the action we're looking for. So we press the right heel to the wall, taking that inner left thigh to the left knee and that inner left shin to the inner left ankle, working that left leg to take it down in consideration of maintaining the pelvis on both sides.
Under which is the block?
The block is underneath the left buttocks, just ever so slightly. Let me come and take a look just to make sure everybody's on the same page. That's it. So the block is, you got it. It's really opening in the right groin. That's all you're looking for. So see if you can take your left hand so it's the arm is straight. Got it, girl. Yes. Very nice.
I am falling off the block.
That'll help too, eh? It does. So we're just looking for this opening through this pelvic area here. That's it. Very nice. So what I did was I supported that outer left leg with a block and a bolster so that she could maintain the pose a little longer. Then slowly lift that left leg back up to release. And that's released now. Both the block and the strap lie flat on the floor, heels to the wall. Let's interlace the palms and now press your heels as you reach your arms up and over. So press your heels, feel the sense of those sit bones drawing down towards the heels. Feel the center of your buttocks, everybody. Very nice. And now let's release. If you need to bend your knees and scooch a little closer to the floor, to the wall, excuse me, do so. And now let's take the block underneath that right buttocks cheek. Just a little, just enough to lift the hips. And then let's take the strap Now I've got a big loop so that I can put my hand inside the whole loop. It just makes it easier to keep the right arm straight. Left leg to the wall, and let's open that right leg out. So we're working that inner right thigh to the knee, but we're keeping an eye that both sides of the pelvis are the same height. As we press that left heel, you start to feel the opening in the left groin this time. So if it's easy for you to catch your big toe with your middle and index finger, feel free. It's a possibility for some of you. You would just grab the leg like so. But for me, I feel like this is a better bet for my money. I'm working on keeping these left ribs in, so the integrity of the pose should not be sacrificed for the ego, the mind saying, I want to go here, I want to go here. So drop the eye, let the breath lead the effort, enjoy the effort. It's an enjoyable challenge at this stage in the game, and you're opening the groin so that your standing poses are just a whole lot better. Okay, let's slowly lift back up. Once again, let's bend the knees. So now, just one more. Let's take the outer feet. If you can with your hands, let's take the hands to the outer feet. Now if you need a little more height underneath your head, feel free. It will help. So eventually these thighs and knees draw to the floor. But at the moment, I'm working on lengthening my buttocks away from the ribs so that I can lengthen through the lower back and drop those knees down. Everybody. And then let's slowly release. I'm just going to do a little time check here. Okay. So we're going to just extend the legs now and come into our final rest Shavasana. If you need to make any adjustments, feel free. Let's extend the legs. And just have the feet slightly apart, so they're approximately pelvis apart, or about a foot apart. Tuck your shoulder blades in and under. And let's take a long inhale here. And release through your exhale. Just do that a few times. This is a great practice to start to completely let go of whatever it is you no longer need. So a few inhales. But focus on the exhale, feel the sense of release and letting go through that breath. And then let the outer palms come to the floor, palms are face up. And just let the mind now be still with the body. gently draw your knees to your chest. And just take one final rock, rolling from side to side, releasing through your lower back and hips. And let's roll over to the right, using your left hand and your right elbow to press you up. Let's come around and just come to an easy seated position. Let's take one last inhale. Let's reach the arms up and look up from your sit bones as you bring your palms together. Feel this length come through the sides of the body. Hands to prayer on the exhale. Just take a moment and thank yourself for this great effort, everybody, to bringing something new and leaving whatever it is you no longer need here on your mat. Thank you all.
Namaste. My body, thank you.
Great job, everybody. That was wonderful. So a deep stretch is not an easy stretch, right? We all know that.
Even in this heat.
That's right, that's right.